Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Taurus collective in early June? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Please, let's get this card out nice and quick for our beautiful friends. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. So we have this interesting individual that I always say is reminiscent of the High Priestess to me. And if you look at all the deeper symbolism, I think you'll pick up what I'm saying. There is this like very nonchalant but hidden secrecy and this strong power that she embodies. So I do like this card quite a bit. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as I was mentioning, this is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck, so she's not specifically the high priestess. But we see this older divine feminine figure here, and she has a crystal ball in front of her, and there is a key within that crystal ball, and there is a lockbox right next to her. So that does sort of imply that she has the key to some sort of sacred knowledge. Now, when I look at the high priestess archetype, I always say that she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She is also highly intuitive. So if you're one of those Tauruses that is very sensitive to energy and you have a very keen intuition, that could be heightened in this time. But a big thing about the high priestess archetype, I already mentioned it earlier, is that there is this knowing that she has, where it's like, even if I don't have proof, I know something. There's like this inner hidden knowing. But the downside to this energy is sometimes it could be secretive, right? Sometimes it could be an energy that keeps things very quiet, where she might know a lot of things, but she's not saying a lot, right? So sometimes she will pop up when there's like unexpected, surprising things or even secrecy. So it's something to watch out for if we see this theme continuing to show up. But for the most part, I like how she is very spiritual, very spiritually in tune, and just highly empathetic. So we're just going to let her chill out right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Taurus, please. And while we get the deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a pretty good one. The reading was titled The Surprising Win. Now, I always say that wins and victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Maybe you just had a couple of really good days. Maybe something that you've been working on finally took off, or things just started going your way completely out of the blue. But even if you haven't had one, just know that that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So there could still be some great energy coming at you. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Taurus friends. What do we got? Quick, really quick. Quick energy. Yeah, right off the starting block, we got the Knight of Swords. Out of all the knights, it's the fastest moving one. He's not slowing down. He's not waiting for nothing. He's off like a rocket. Now, I usually like an action card in the first position, and we got it. So we'll see what else comes up. What do we got? Okay. All right, these 2 cards came out together. I'm highly intrigued by the mixture of energy we have showing up, because in position number 2, we have the Fool card, another action card, and then we got the Knight of Cups. It kind of seems like he's at a crossroads, right? Where he's like, I could go this way or I could go that way. That's so intriguing to me. But these energies do have some differences and similarities. That's what makes it extra intriguing to me. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that, you know, really sets the tone and frames the reading well. And we have a pretty good mixture. It's not too much of one thing. We have air, fire, and water. Cool. I mean, some people even say this is like fire-air combination in the center, but we're just going to call it, for all intents and purposes, air, fire, water. Now, when it comes to the air element, And again, these could be different things, different situations. It doesn't just have to be the same thing. But air is very logical and pragmatic. It deals with strategy and planning and giving or receiving information. So if there's things that you're trying to figure out or things that you're trying to learn or invest your mind into, whenever I see air, it's great for giving or receiving information mainly. It deals heavily with the thought process, our perspective, how we view things, which I think is always important, but that could even be more important in this time. Big communication. So not only the card, but also the suit is very communicative. Now, the downside to the sword suit is sometimes it could be in its mind a little too much. Sometimes it could be a little overthinky. Swords can sometimes also be cold and detached. So that's something we need to watch out for. Moving into the center, we have fire. Now, fire to me, that's the realm of action. The actions we take, the actions we want to take, the actions other people take. I think of vitality, health and wellness, energy levels. So usually fire is pretty good. But the downside to fire is that it can be very explosive, especially mixed with this air right here. There could be a big spark plug right in the front of this reading. So something to watch out for, the volatility. Then here on the back end, we have the water. So whereas this is the mind, that is the heart. So heart, mind, logic and brain, what my emotions tell me. So with the cups in the water, that's anything we're emotionally invested in or anything we care about, whether it's a person or a situation, a cause of some kind. It's just something that I'm emotionally attached to. Water is very creative. It does think outside of the box. It's more etheric. Water deals with the intuition, the knowing, the spirituality, partnerships. All of that can be in play. Big creative vibes. So again, very logical, pragmatic, straight to the point. This one is outside the box. Uh, the only downside with water is that it's always coming and going. It's always flowing, and sometimes it could overwhelm us. So as you see, we have a nice mixture of things going on here. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Knight of Swords. Now, the one thing you will notice is that all of these cards are action cards. They seem to be going in different directions, right? But with the Knight of Swords, I like them. And I would say all knights represent action and communication. So just as I was saying, this one is off like a rocket, right? So if it's a conversation, choom, it's going right at it. Now, the thing I like about this, it's fast, it's quick results. Sometimes it could even be in a bit of a rush. So I love the forward momentum that we get with the Knight of Swords. Like it's a really good card for that. It's very determined to see something through. But the downside to the Knight of Swords is sometimes it could be too pushy. Sometimes it could be too fast. Sometimes it could be too aggressive. Very itchy trigger finger, so to speak. Like it's an energy that sometimes acts before it even has to. So that's just something to watch out for sure when we move into the reading. Now, could it be a conversation of some kind potentially? I just feel like we need to see how these differ, because like the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups are two totally different vibes. So for some of you, this could be, again, a crossroads or two totally different approaches to something. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this Knight of Swords tucked right back in where he belongs, we have the Fool card himself, the protagonist of the tarot deck. I like to give this to Aries. Some people give it to Aquarius as well. But to me, the Fool is about new, fresh, big journeys. It's very optimistic and jovial. It's seeing the silver lining of things, head in the clouds in a good way. It's very optimistic and positive, and it's very fresh. It's on the move, though. Notice he's about to walk off that cliff, and that's where we get into the downside of the Fool, because this card can also be a little spontaneous. It can act first, ask questions later. So there is this little bit of riskiness involved. And that's been something I've been seeing for a few different signs over recent weeks, is like some might be more prone to take a risk, take a jump, take a leap. And that's what this card is all about. So like when I see it right next to this Knight of Swords, I'm like, okay, someone's acting. Like this isn't somebody that's just sitting and thinking things through. So something to watch out for. But normally I call the Fool card a positive until something shows us otherwise. Now moving to the very back end, we have the Knight of Cups, totally different approach than what we have here in the front. So again, this is a much more softer, let it flow type of energy. Whereas like these energies, they're in a rush, they're go, 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 go. This one is like that middle pace where it's not going too slow. It's definitely not going too fast. It's just letting things flow. Now, as far as individual traits, this could be someone that's like very good with their words. It's a smooth talker, like a salesman or a Prince Charming type of figure. This is someone that's very, very good with their words, highly creative. This is huge when it comes to love, emotions, love readings, emotional offers, because what's he doing? He's offering the cup. So again, we have a lot of conversation, we have a lot of messages, we have a lot of talking, we have two potential ways that something could go. Now, the downside to the Knight of Cups, sometimes it could represent repression. It could represent suppression as well, like wanting to say something but deciding not to. And sometimes it's also an energy that can play off of other people's emotions. So as you can see, we have a lot happening here. I want to dive deeper on all of it though, Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for our Taurus friends, please. What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your based knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Knight of Swords. Let's see what he has. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Knight of Swords here? Thank you. So many people now, right? Notice we don't have any Taurus cards. So we do have the Page of Cups and the upright. Like, this is somebody that like cannot wait to say something or cannot wait to take action. There's like an anticipation here. Now for some of you this could be really good, where like, you know, where when you were a kid and it's like a big holiday the next day, like Christmas or Halloween or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, I can't wait. There's a certain anticipation that I'm picking up here that's very similar, or like the day before your birthday or a day before a big party. That's the best way for me to describe how this energy feels to me, is where I have like this giddiness and this anticipation, which is really good. Now, the downside to this, as I mentioned earlier in the reading, this is someone that can jump the gun or take action too quickly, where it's like this person can't wait or doesn't want to be bothered to wait, can't be patient, boom, and just does something before it should. So I would watch out for that. I would watch out for like surprising or unexpected action, whether it's coming from somebody else or even yourself. I know Tauruses are usually pretty um, thorough and not usually in a rush, but everyone's different. With all this anticipation, it's like, I can't wait anymore. I'm not waiting anymore. So to me, it does feel like surprising or unexpected action happening from someone's end. Now, again, a lot of talking, a lot of chit chat, which I think is something I've been seeing at least over the past month in your readings. I don't know what all the chit chat's about, but it can be very good. Either this is someone I can't wait to take an action, or they can't wait to say something. Where it's like, oh, next time I see that person, I can't wait to talk to them. I can't wait to say this. So we're just going to keep moving. We're not going to overcomplicate it. Very simple. There is this anticipation or giddiness that I'm picking up, though, which could be fun, depending, right? I guess it all depends on your situation. Because why would you be looking forward to something if it wasn't a good thing, right? Let's keep moving. Let's see what the Fool has. So unique. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. But let's see why the Fool's here. Quick. Yeah, and even the cards are just jumping, flying out of my hands. Very similar. Very similar. It's like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. We have the moon in the upright underneath this Fool card, where it's like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do it. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going there. Uh, I don't want to say it's super risky, but it kind of is in a way. Like when I see the Fool with a very mysterious, soft, and subtle card like the moon. So again, the highly intuitive energy, there's a ton of water showing up here. But aside from the intuition and the energetic sensitivity, when I look at the moon, it's the biggest card of mystery, the unknown. So similar to how I set it up here, the surprising action, unexpected action, there's a very similar thread right here in the front end, where it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it. Or I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. It's like an energy that decides to act before it even thinks. So again, watch out for the impulses, the urges, the risky behaviors. Even if you're not normally that way, there's so much of it here in the front, unless this is completely someone else's energy that's just a little bit risky in nature, because that's just how it's feeling. It's all over the place here, which again doesn't have to be bad. I have Aries placements. I believe in calculated risk from time to time. But there's also this anticipation as well. So for some of you, especially those of you energetically sensitive, it's like, oh, I feel something coming. I feel something coming. I don't know what it is, but I feel it. I know it's coming. Let's keep moving. I don't feel like we need to overcomplicate this either. So let's see what's going on with the Knight of Cups. Maybe that'll give us a little more clarity, since we have all this energy kind of popping off, right? So let's see what the Knight of Cups is about. I mean, maybe you're just like an energy vortex in this time. That's very possible. Where it's like you're just pulling things, people, situations to you, even if you're not trying. Because the energy is just so quick to act, so quick to jump. You might be emitting some sort of magnetism. Let's see what's up with the Knight of Cups, then we'll do our quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Why is the Knight of Cups here? I mean, it's good. It's really good. Now, I do think the flowy way to handle things is much better, like not jumping too quick, not pressuring, not acting too soon. Because this energy, remember I was saying, it just lets it flow. And I think that's another thing I was seeing for you last week, where it's like the less you try, the better. When I see the Knight of Cups with the Ten of Cups, that's absolutely big win, victory, blessing type of energy. And it just lets it flow, right? Even though this energy is like really anticipating something, this energy just lets it flow and lets it work how it needs to go. The Ten of Cups is one of the best cards in the whole entire tarot deck. I'm sure a lot of you would agree. A lot of other readers would as well. Sometimes it could be home and family, but the big thing to me is the wish fulfillment. So when I see it under a card like this Knight of Cups, could it be good or exciting news? Potentially. For a lot of you, this could be some great communication coming in, something you've been wanting to talk about, or just some really exciting news. If it's not that, or if it's not a win, it's telling us that the path of least pressure is the best, where it's like something is already in motion. Just let it flow how it needs to flow. You don't got to jump too soon. You don't got to do this and that. Just let it flow. Let it unfold how it needs to unfold, because it's already written. That's how this feels to me. So I'm pretty optimistic about your reading this week, aside from that like little risky energy I was picking up in the front. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kind of look in the box, tons of water in your spread this week, right? All these cards are water. But position number one, we have the Knight of Swords with the Page of Cups, and that's an energy with a lot of anticipation, where it's like, I can't wait to do this, I can't wait to do that. It's just very excited. And to me, it feels like unexpected or surprising action coming from someone, whether it's you or somebody else. Moving to the middle, we have the Fool with the Moon in the upright. Very similar thread, very similar vein of what we got going on up here in the front. But it does feel a little more risky, where it's like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like an energy that just dives headlong into something. So watch for the urges and risky or risque behaviors. Moving to the back end, the path of just letting something flow and just allowing gets you where you're going actually in a much smoother type of way. We have the Knight of Cups with the Ten of Cups in the upright. Either some really good, exciting news. This could be a big win of some kind, which I love. There's a lot of claimable energy here, but it also tells us that like we don't have to force anything. We just let it flow how it needs to, and then we get the best result by getting into that flow state, which is a theme you've been getting for weeks now. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. Put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got for Taurus, please? Nice and quick. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, Knight of Swords again. So like the spark plug that starts us off here shows up in the shadows. So the fact that we're getting this energy and message continuously, it says something, especially here on the front. Now, the Knight of Swords could just be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if you're connected to one. And we already spoke about the good things about this card, how it's very determined, it's very quick, it's very fast to act, and that could be a great thing. It's also a never quit type of energy. But the downside, it acts before it thinks, or it could be too aggressive, or it could be too pushy. So if you're dealing with someone that's like pressing on those boundaries, or someone's being a little too pushy with you, maybe take a step back and give yourself a little space there. But even if that's not the case, just watch the urges. I'm telling you, like it's just shown up too strong, too much in this reading to not be important, right? It's shown up in major ways. Maybe it could be someone else, not even necessarily you. So if someone's acting a little funny, if they're acting like a live wire, to me, it's just like observe. Just keep an eye on it. So we're going to let that Knight of Swords chill out right there, my friends. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, the winners, which will be 3, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.